one of the most disturbing domestic murder cases to come out of Russia in recent years. In the summer of 2023, a young woman went silent. Her family kept receiving messages from her, but something felt off. Weeks later, they discovered the truth. Her body had been hidden in a plastic barrel on the balcony, and the person responsible? The man she lived with, the man she trusted. This is the story of Victoria, and how love turned into control, and control into murder. June 1st, 2023, Veliky Novgorod, Russia. Victoria's mother, Olga, stops by her daughter's apartment. Victoria lives there with her boyfriend, 30-year-old Alexander Golubev. Olga immediately notices something's not right. The apartment is messy. Alexander is acting strange, rushing, avoiding eye contact, telling her they'll call later. A few days pass, but still no word from Victoria. Alexander says they're both sick. Then that Victoria lost her phone. But Olga's intuition tells her something is very wrong. On June 26th, Olga gets a message from Alexander's sister. She says the apartment has plumbing problems. There's a weird smell, and a plastic barrel sitting on the balcony. Olga visits again. The smell is undeniable. Rot. But Alexander shrugs it off, says it's probably the cat or trash. Olga wants to believe him and leaves him. But by July 3rd, she returns once more, and this time she can't ignore it. The cat is starving and shocked. Victoria, who would never neglect her pet, is still missing. Olga knows this isn't just a disappearance anymore. That same day, Olga brings backup. Alexander's mother and one of Victoria's close friends. They force their way into the apartment. Then, to the balcony. The plastic barrel is sealed. Inside, layer after layer of plastic bags, covered in baking soda. And then, hair. Blonde hair. It's Victoria. She had been dead for nearly a month. First, her body was left inside the apartment for 3 days. Then, Alexander stuffed her into the barrel, sealed it, and kept living in the same apartment. He even continued texting her mother, pretending to be Victoria to buy himself time. According to investigators, Alexander killed Victoria during an argument. He strangled her with the strap of her handbag, then stuffed a sock in her mouth and kept choking her until she died. He claimed she had just found out about his cheating, but detectives say that wasn't the real reason. It was about money. Alexander had been secretly taking out loans in Victoria's name. He stole over 500,000 rubles, about $5,500. Even after her death, he kept applying for online microloans using her ID. Alexander didn't panic. He planned. Police found search history on his devices. Things like, do plastic barrels contain the smell of a corpse? After that, he bought a 200-liter barrel, nearly 20 packs of baking soda, and multiple air fresheners. This wasn't a man running from guilt. This was a man living with the evidence of what he'd done every day. In April 2024, Alexander Golubev was found guilty. He was sentenced to 9 years and 6 months in a strict regime penal colony. But just a few months later, in July 2024, everything changed. All court enforcement orders were suddenly suspended, including the 1.5 million ruble compensation ordered to Victoria's mother. Why? Because Alexander was reportedly sent to the Special Military Operations Zone, the war zone. And just like that, a convicted killer is no longer behind bars. His current location? Officially unknown. If someone is trying to control your finances, isolate you, or scare you into silence, please reach out. Talk to someone, call a hotline, tell a friend. No one should feel unsafe in their own home.